a world filled with noise, distractions, and constant challenges, staying calm can feel almost impossible. Yet for the Stoics, calmness was not just a mental state, it was a way of life. Today, we explore 10 powerful lessons from Stoicism that can help you remain centered, balanced, and resilient no matter what life throws your way. Imagine waking up in the morning knowing that no matter what happens, you have the inner tools to face it with strength and clarity. The Stoics believed that peace of mind comes from understanding what is within your control and what is not. They taught that true power comes from mastering your reactions, not the world around you. Our first lesson begins here. Control what you can. Accept what you cannot. When you face difficulties, remind yourself that your thoughts, your attitudes, and your decisions are yours. Everything else is external. Once you stop fighting what you cannot change, you free up energy to focus on what truly matters. The second lesson is to understand that every situation is neutral until you give it meaning. Your interpretation creates your emotional response. Stoicism teaches that if you change the story you tell yourself, you change how you feel. When challenges arise, instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" try saying, "How can I grow from this?" This simple shift opens the door to strength rather than suffering. The third lesson is the practice of negative visualization. This means imagining the loss of things you value, your possessions, your comfort, even the people you love. This is not to create fear, but to cultivate gratitude. When you mentally prepare for loss, you appreciate what you have more deeply. You also become more resilient when change inevitably comes. Our fourth lesson is to embrace discomfort. Modern life teaches us to avoid hardship, but Stoicism teaches the opposite. Whether it's waking up early, practicing discipline, or facing uncomfortable emotions, discomfort builds strength. The Stoics believe that avoiding challenge makes you weaker, but facing it mindfully makes you powerful. The fifth lesson is to pause before reacting. When someone angers you, when a situation frustrates you, or when things do not go your way, practice the Stoic pause. Take a breath, reflect before acting. The moment between stimulus and response is where your freedom lies. In that pass, you choose wisdom over impulse. The sixth lesson is to live in harmony with nature. For the Stoics, nature meant the order of the universe, the flow of life. Everything has its cycles: growth, decay, change. When you accept the natural flow, instead of resisting it, you live with greater peace. Life will not always go according to plan, but it will always go according to nature. The seventh lesson is to remember the temporary nature of life. Everything is passing moments, feelings, experiences, people, and even you. This is not meant to cause sadness, but to inspire presence. When you remember that life is temporary, you engage more fully with every moment. You savor the present instead of worrying about the future or clinging to the past. The eighth lesson is to focus on virtue over pleasure. The Stoics believe that a good life is not built on comfort or entertainment, but on character. Wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, these were the pillars of a virtuous life. When your actions are guided by virtue, you build a life you can be proud of, regardless of external circumstances. The ninth lesson is to stay humble. The Stoics believe that arrogance blinds you to your weaknesses and prevents growth. They practiced humility not by looking down on themselves, but by recognizing how much there is to learn. When you remain humble, you stay open to wisdom, improvement, and deeper understanding. And finally, the 10th lesson: focus on the present moment. The Stoics taught that the present is all we truly have. Worrying about the future or regretting the past steals your peace. When you bring your attention back to the now, to your breath, your surroundings, your actions, you find calmness naturally. Now, let us bring these 10 lessons together into a single picture. Imagine yourself walking through life with a calm mind. You understand what you control and what you cannot. You choose your interpretations wisely. You appreciate what you have, embrace discomfort, and pause before reacting. You flow with nature, stay present, live with virtue, and remain humble. This inner fortress does not make you immune to difficulty. The Stoics themselves faced sickness, loss, betrayal, and war. but their strength came from within. They learned to stand firm even when the world felt unstable. And you can too. Let's go deeper into each lesson as it would apply throughout your day. Imagine starting your morning by accepting that the day may not go perfectly and that this is okay. You set your mind to focus on your own actions and your own responses, rather than external events. This simple mindset prepares you for anything. As you begin your work, you encounter challenges or frustrations. Instead of reacting emotionally, you practice the Stoic pause. You observe the situation, breathe, and respond with clarity. You choose strength over impulse. Later, you face a disappointment, perhaps a plan falls through or someone lets you down. Instead of feeling defeated, you apply negative visualization. You remind yourself that everything is temporary and that setbacks are part of life's natural flow. You find gratitude for what still remains. Throughout the day, you remind yourself to embrace discomfort, to do the difficult tasks instead of avoiding them. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your character. As evening approaches, you reflect on your actions. Did you live with virtue? Did you act with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control? The Stoics believe that this daily reflection sharpens your character over time. And finally, before going to sleep, you return to the present moment. You let go of the day's worries and return to your breath. You recognize that today is complete and tomorrow is not yet here. This continuous cycle, living with awareness, intention, and discipline, gradually transforms your mind. You become calmer, more patient, more focused. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. The power of Stoicism lies not in intellectual understanding, but in practice. You do not need to be perfect. You simply need to take one step at a time. Practice seeing things as they are, not as you fear them to be. Practice accepting your limits while stepping into your strengths. Practice gratitude, presence, humility, and virtue. With each practice, you build a quieter mind and a stronger spirit. The world may not become calmer, but you will. And that is the legacy of Stoicism. To build inner peace in a world of chaos, to live with purpose and clarity, and to remain unshakable no matter what life brings. These 10 lessons are not just philosophical ideas. They are tools you can carry with you every day. Use them. Apply them. Live them. Your calmness is your power. Your clarity is your strength. And your inner peace is your freedom.